This video is about changing the outside CV joint rubber boot using the cone installation method. These boots often split and go unnoticed, and if left for a long time can wear out the CV joint as all the grease eventually leaks out and water and grime get in. This method will work on the majority of CV joints. The installation is just the same on a Skoda Fabia as it is on a Jaguar X-Type. It's also something that the annual MOT test will pick up on, and if you haven't checked them beforehand, it'll be too late. Anyway, the first thing to do is clean up the rubber boot, drive shaft end and shaft from any rust, and then take the clips off, which I've already done, as you can see. To get them off, you just need to prise them off with a flat-bladed screwdriver, as it doesn't really matter damaging the boot as you're going to replace it now. I just forgot to film that bit. Anyway, this is the universal kit that I got. One flexible rubber boot, some instructions and some grease. In fact, 2 lots of grease. And some metal band-on clips. The rubber boot's actually very flexible, as you can see. But I know it's still going to be tough. There's not many videos on this, but the ones I've seen either make it look really easy, done inside a workshop, or, as I'm going to attempt, on the car itself, while the drive shaft is in situ. And this is actually my first attempt at doing this, so it could be quite interesting. So we just want to cut the boot off with a Stanley knife. You want to make sure the blade's a new one, and the cut is nice and clean. You don't want any bits of rubber left inside the joint. Just peel that off. And then clean up all the joint itself with the grease and everything. Be mindful not to let any rusty bits inside the joint. Right, I'll get my cone. And see if it fits over. Yeah, fits over nicely. Plenty of space there. So what I'm going to do is rest the cone on a brick. Make sure you lubricate the cone fully. And make sure your hands are completely dry. I've got rubber gloves on for extra grip, making sure they're really dry. If you've got any grease on your hands at all, it won't work. Turn the rubber boot inside out and then flip over the end of the rubber boot so you've got something to grip hold of when you pull it down over the cone. And then pull the rubber gaiter over that and over the end of the cone, like so. Now here's the hard bit. Make sure your gloves are really dry again, and your cone and your rubber, make sure all that's dry, because you're going to push it onto the shaft, which is quite hard. Support the shaft end in your lap with the cone, so you're pushing against the rod so it's straight, and simply push the rubber on. I'll let the video do the talking from now on. I won't speed the film up, I'll just run it in real time so you can get an appreciation of how hard or easy it is. Saying that, I will add that this is actually quite hard to do. Hey, success. Now we've just got to turn the boot inside out, or right side out, which is initially quite easy. It's just that the end bits are a little bit harder. And I found that the narrow end, you could just invert it with inserting a little screwdriver gently in the end, and then it'll just prise out. Now I just need to clean it up, get all the wet grease off, and then put the clip on the narrow end first. Wrap the band clip on as tight as you can and it'll hook into the little holes. Then ideally you need a special tool to crimp these, but an ordinary pair of nail pliers will do. They're not quite as good, but near enough. Make sure they're relatively blunt ones, and you just nip the end to tighten it up. The specialist tool has a flat end in the middle of the pliers to stop the crimp on the metal rising up. Now the little end's on, I can fill the joint with grease. Stuff a load of grease into the joint. And then put the final large clip on. Crimp it too. And I'm done. Just need to clean it up now. It's not a bad job, that. Nice and flexible. Yep, that'll do. My Auntie Gertie would be proud of me. Anyway, I hope this helped you out, guys. And as always, thank you for watching.